Lagos to promote the business forum. So I will give the floor to you, Blessing. We can start with that introduction, and let me go and see where the other panelists are. Thank you.
If you just introduce yourselves, what you do, and why you are here. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Roland Oroh. I'm wearing the cap of the project director, the EU Nigeria Agribusiness platform. This platform was established early January this year with support from the European Union to expand trade and investment between Nigeria and the 27 EU countries. The whole idea of the platform started in 2022 when the European Union Ministers of Agriculture and the African Union Minister of Agriculture saw the need to increase interaction and expand trade in agribusiness and support inclusive growth in the agricultural sector of both regions. So Nigeria and Ghana are the first two countries to have this platform in place. Our company, Agribusiness Limited, is a private entity that has been mandated to manage this platform to achieve the goals. I'll talk more about the goals later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, so I'm Johan Malin from Flanders Investment and Trade. I'm here with my colleague Catherine, who is taking a break right now, but she's here. So, what do I do within Flanders Investment and Trade? I'm responsible for all the international organizations. So I try to liaise between our Flemish companies and international organizations and see what business opportunities can come from them. We see a lot of layers within those international organizations. So we have the multi-level development banks like World Bank and African Development Bank, who finance a lot of projects also in agriculture. They finance those bigger projects for the development of a country and its sectors. They enhance the capacity of the ministries and the agencies involved. And we have a second layer, that is the European Union. Important because there is a lot of talk nowadays on the Global Gateway initiative, which is like a branding instrument. In the beginning, we all thought that Global Gateway wasn't a new instrument and that new budgets would be involved, but that was not the case. Development Gateway is a branding instrument, but a lot of new initiatives are deployed at this stage. Third layer is the United Nations. If we talk about agriculture, I think you know the FAO very well. Food and Agricultural Organization, but also Agricultural Development Agency, the IFAD, is well known, and both they do good work, I think, in the field of agriculture in Nigeria. The fourth layer I am involved in is the scientific organizations. You may say that is maybe a little bit far from Africa's bed. But we see a lot of initiative on Earth Observatory, also in agriculture, where ESA, the European Space Agency, the data are open to the public and can be used to develop innovative solutions, also again in the field of agriculture.
So Johan, you're like a one-stop shop, essentially. There's a lot going on there.
Hello, Trix. First of all,
sorry, your name and introduce yourself.
First of all, sorry for being late. I thought we were having a break. My name is Maxime, Maxime Istace. I work for the company Ebury. We are a financial institution specialized in the FX management and international payments. What we do, as you may have understood, we help companies, European-based company, I cover Belgium and Luxembourg, So it can be different type of companies like SMEs, multinational, public organization, or as well NGOs that are struggling to do the international payments and FX management. And over the last few years, we've been focusing ourselves with Nigeria, but as well Africa, because we realized that the products and services that we were offering added a lot of value to European companies that were trading with Africa and Nigeria specifically. And recently, we've been well known as well in the country, locally, because different companies approach us in order to help them as well in the management of their financial imports. So
Okay.
that's what we do.
Thank you. My first question is going to go to Johan. From blended finance to export credit, how can FDI in agribusiness be structured to deliver commercial value for investors in Belgium and Luxembourg while strengthening supply chain resilience in Nigeria?
I think it is wise to think about Nigeria on a longer term, but you have to understand that our companies are taking a slow path. They will not take all the risk in the beginning of the process. So typically our companies will prospect Nigeria first. They will try to find an agent to represent their products, and they could also opt for a distributor. And maybe when things are running well, they will open an office to follow up closely on their sales. And then when all the trust is built up and the exporter starts to know the country well, he may start thinking in investing more. It could be a small thing, maybe a layer of paint or coating on a machine or a product. Maybe it will be about packaging, maybe it will be about labeling. So they will build that up, and only if they are past that stage, they really invest in the country. Of course, they have to look at the macroeconomic situation and about the business business environment. But okay, that is where all those international organizations step in, because they are there to ensure that to support the Nigerian government in establishing that sure environment.
Okay, thank you. Did you want to say something? You can share this one.
Thank you very much. See, let's look at the business case for Nigeria. Right? He talked about having a long-term disposition, which I think is very important. By 2050, we're going to be 450 million people, mostly young population. By 2100, we're going to be 750 million, third largest population in the world, second largest democracy after India. So we need to start thinking now, how do we position ourselves, as Nigerians, to play on the global stage. And I was going to talk about supply chains. The EU has some priority value chains right now in Nigeria, which includes livestock, dairy, feed ingredients like soya bean and maize, and cocoa, right? We need to develop these supply chains, not just for the domestic market, but also for the international market. We have to play the global stage. We have to be a low-cost producer, supplying high-quality, low-cost products to the global market. And we'll have the government. The government is ready. I mean, I took the word that the Honorable Panellists said just now about, a call to action from this meeting to have a livestock investment project. And I got a hint from Thomas that we should take it up. And we're going to take it up from next week. So I'm looking at something like a Belgium, Nigeria livestock investment accelerator to increase investments, in Nigeria for the Nigerian market, but also for the Middle East market, which is a tier 2 market, which we can easily penetrate. In the European Union is tier 1 market, it's complex, it's high quality. We take it, at the second stage. let me stop there.
Okay, still with you, Roland. Looking at public-private partnerships, we know it's a proven catalyst over time that has proven itself. But what do you think are the viable opportunities for co-financed initiatives based on what you said?
Oh yeah, I mean, see, our platform, the EU Nigeria Agribusiness platform, provides very clear platform, opportunity. We see the European Investment Bank, they're bringing a lot of funds into Nigeria right now, and they've already scoped and identified some local banks that will provide funding. The European Reconstruction Bank is also bringing funds. So I want to encourage private sector financing institutions like venture capital companies that have long-term disposition, because it's a long-term game. Nigeria is a long-term game. We need to come to the market, work with the government. The government is ready. I mean, the new Ministry of Livestock was created because of this, willingness to work with the private sector, and the partners, like you said, already working with the ministry, to develop, the livestock market. So the stage is set. The people are ready from the government side, private sector, they're ready. So we just need to move it.
So when you're saying it's plug and play?
Yes. They should come in. Now.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Maxime, from European institutional perspective, what are the key risk indicators or assurances that would accelerate capital flow into Nigeria's agricultural value chain?
I think there are various systems that can be put in place in order to facilitate the transaction between the European organization and Nigeria. Because what is important to make sure that those investments still remain or increase in the future is that we can, Nigeria and those European investors or organizations mitigate the risk that are locally present. And I face this with the different organizations that I work with that are active in Nigeria, but as well big companies or SMEs that are trying to invest a bit more within the country. There are some risks that always come to the table. For example, the currency situation of the country, which is, I'm sure that most of you had this discussion in the past, and as Mr. said, Nigeria has such a huge potential, but the situation of the country with the inflation and the currency issue, in order to make sure that you can get paid when you trade with Africa, but as well that the local companies can find the stronger currency in order to pay the European organizations. There are some solutions that are in place. Ebury is one of them, because we can facilitate those transactions, but there is still room to improve. We work definitely on some additional financial products that could ease those transactions. For example, to have a kind of factoring product in Nigeria to help the local farmer in order to get paid in advance, to get working capital, in order to invest this capital to buy products and to increase their productivity, and enable them to have more flexibility by doing this payment abroad. So yeah.
So in essence, by you facilitating the finance, that risk is sort of mitigated. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. Because when you want to tackle this kind of countries, the major risk is linked to the currency, but as well there is such a volatility between the local currency and foreign currency like USD or Euro, that you need to make sure that the investment that you make on a few years, you will gain a certain profit at the end. And that's what we do with certain financial products, like aging facilities, for example.
All right, thank you. Roland, I just want to ask, who do you want to speak to in this? Who do you want to have your sessions with afterwards? And what's your ask?
Yeah, I would like to meet with sector players with livestock. Like you said, we're going to take on the charge from the Permanent Secretary to have a bilateral Nigeria-Belgium livestock accelerator, investment accelerator project. So I'd like to meet with livestock enthusiasts.
Do we have them in the room?
Yeah, great. So I'd like to meet with you. And then the EU value chains that we're looking at, cocoa, dairy, and then feed ingredients. And of course, Nigeria's value chains, we're looking at opticals for shea butter, If you know, the government has just banned the export of raw shea nuts, so there's need to increase investment in processing shea nut into shea butter. So, I mean, supply chains, agricultural supply chains, I'll be happy to meet with some persons.
Okay, thank you. Who would you like to?
Well, as I already said, I cover developing countries more from a general perspective. So I'm following up on practically the complete developing world. To the other side, I support my colleague Catherine. Catherine is responsible for the African region at FIT. Because I have this network of connections with international organizations, our department supports this regional department getting a first entrance to a country. This is why we did lots of exploratory missions in the past. In 2010, Nigeria was an exploratory mission. In the meantime, we have been returning to Nigeria every 2-3 years, so it has become a very trusted. I have been in those missions personally, but now at this point I'm organizing together with my colleagues from Brussels and from Wallonia. We are organizing a mission to Kenya, so we cover it all, you know, and Kenya. United Nations is a bit more present. It can differ from country to country. If I understand well, in the agricultural sector in Nigeria, the United Nations system would be the most important. But then think twice, because we speak about corridors nowadays. And in those corridors, it's not only about transports, it's also about digital lines. It's also about the human factor, the research, the education. Agriculture is also part of that health situation. So a corridor should be not only be understood in terms of hard infrastructure, but also in the soft. This is why Enabel, our development cooperation agency from Belgium, is so much involved in Global Gateway. You know, if you speak about those corridors, they follow, you know, or they guide the business people to put also the human factor into the picture.
So Johan, how do we get you to Nigeria?
I would suggest for Nigeria that anyone who wants to talk, to make suggestions, that they address Catherine, because at this point I'm following up a bit on Global Gateway these days. So it's a long path, you know.
Is there a point man or point woman
It's not
for
that
Nigeria?
when I will have talked to this person or that person, I will have all the answers.
That's fine. Is it
doesn't
possible to
work
have
like that.
someone as a point person for Nigeria? Do you have one?
Focal point, we have our own antenna, so he's also a specialist on Global Gateway. At this point, no, I could not for myself pinpoint one person.
All right, thank you. Maxime?
Although maybe I can add, and especially in the field of agriculture, that of course when you speak about agriculture, you also speak about rural development, and we know that the states are very important in Nigeria in this respective, which makes the work of international organizations or even export promotion organizations not always easy, because you have like 40 states, I forgot the exact, 36 states, so you should contact all the state levels. This is why international institutions work through banks normally. So it's on the local level that you have to have banks that give financial support to agricultures, and also on the level of guarantees. So.
All right, thank you. Maxime, who would you like to have a chat with?
Pretty simple. Every person that runs a business either in Belgium or Luxembourg or in Nigeria, have been trading with Africa, Nigeria specifically, or Europe, and that have faced or are facing today liquidity issue or FX issue at the moment. So happy to have a chat and to discuss this with you.
Thank you.
Yes, that we have a mandate to increase the current level of trade between Nigeria and the EU from 755 billion euros to 1.2 billion euros by 2026. So if you are currently trading with Nigeria, please let's talk. Let's know your issues. Let's know how we can help you to expand trade and investment. We're looking at SMEs. We know the multinationals can take care of themselves. But SMEs, please let's talk so that we can work together to achieve this target. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The opportunity before us is one of mutual partnership. So when structure aligns with purpose, partnership becomes prosperity for farmers, financiers, and the future alike. So please do make these connections, and let's make sure this isn't just a talk show. Let's have partnerships and shake hands. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So without further ado, we're gonna continue with the next panel discussion. That's the panel on